Namaskar, you are watching the Globali and I am Mousumi. For months, denials were louder than facts. For weeks, silence was painted as strength. But truth, my friends, has a peculiar destiny. It cannot be locked away forever. And now after 3 months, the walls of denial have cracked in Islamabad. Yes, more than 3 months after India's Operation Sindoor shook Pakistan's terror sanctuaries, the truth has finally surfaced, not from New Delhi's podiums, but from Pakistan's own President House. On Independence Day, medals of honor were quietly handed to martyrs who perished in the very strikes Pakistan had once called fiction. One among them, Squadron Leader Usman Yousaf, killed when Indian precision strikes battered the Bholari airbase. Alongside him, dozens were lost, several wounded, and reports suggest even American technicians at Nur Khan base were injured. What India had announced in May that over 100 terrorists were eliminated and terror strongholds destroyed now finds reluctant validation through Pakistan's own ceremonies. This isn't just an admission, it's a collapse of a carefully curated lie. The denials are more about damage control than the truth. The belated acknowledgement highlights a dilemma. Pakistan could not continue dishonoring its own soldiers indefinitely. Eventually, it had to balance propaganda with internal legitimacy by admitting losses, even if reluctantly. This exposes the fragility of Pakistan's state machinery, forced to juggle between external face-saving and internal pressure to recognize their martyrs. And if we see the military impact, precision and pressure, India's Operation Sindoor was not just symbolic. It penetrated deep into Pakistan's air bases, Bholari, Nur Khan, Sargodha, Jacobabad, Sharkot. These aren't fringe targets. They are core military installations. The death of Squadron Leader Usman Yousaf and the injuries to American technicians highlight two things: the effectiveness of India's precision strikes and the unavoidable or uncomfortable presence of foreign involvement, that is US technicians raising questions about the nature of their work at Pakistani bases. If India could carry out such a wide network of strikes without major retaliation, it showcases a new deterrence capability: punish, withdraw and hold the narrative. Now, if we look at the geopolitical angle, Pakistan's dilemma, the revelation comes at a time when Pakistan faces economic collapse under IMF monitoring, political instability with a shaky Sharif government, military embarrassment as its credibility has been punctured both internally and globally. Acknowledging losses also exposes Pakistan to international scrutiny. Why were terrorists sheltered at these bases in the first place? Why were foreign technicians present during such operations? And the psychological and propaganda war? India has scored a major psychological victory here. For 3 months, it let Pakistan deny. Now, as Pakistan itself honors the martyrs, India's narrative gains legitimacy in the eyes of the global community. In propaganda terms, Pakistan has been forced into a corner. What it once dismissed as false is now edged in medals and ceremonies. Hope America is watching this. This makes one thing very clear: truth has endurance, lies have expiry dates. Now, how credible is Pakistan's word when it denied the very sacrifices it is now honoring? Does this confirm India's claim that terror bases are entwined with Pakistan's military assets? If American technicians were injured, what role were they playing and why has Washington remained silent? Will Pakistan's people demand accountability for the government's lies? And most critically, if truth emerged after 3 months, how many more uncomfortable truths remain hidden? For more updates and deep insights, keep watching the Globali.